Hey guys, it's Lindsay with Mama Schmooze Reviews, and I'm going to be sharing my best of 2017 books with you guys, and I'm excited because I love books, and I know a lot of you out there do too. I have a lot of special ladies that are joining me in this collab with the best of 2017 homeschool books, so check down below, their channels below, and check out to see what they have been reading. We are all a lot of homeschool moms that have a lot of different age kids, so I have younger kids, some of them have older kids, so it's a really good variety of books that you're going to be seeing in this collaboration, and it's open to you guys. If you want to share a YouTube video of your favorite books, go ahead and join the video. I would love for you guys to join. So let's get started. I wanted to share with you guys what I have been reading to my kids, like picture books and nursery books, and what we've been like absolutely loving. And then I wanted to share with you guys the read out loud books that we have been liking from Bookshark and some of the homeschool mom books. So as far as like my toddler goes and my 5-year-old daughter, we have been enjoying this picture book that is called Fluffy and Barren, and it's really like a Charlotte Mason inspired type of a book, very realistic like artwork, and it's just talking about their companionship of being best friends and the duck growing up and having babies, and then the part of, you know, mother nature, of God's nature. And so this is really something that we just always go to for like a picture book in the morning time. It's been one of their favorites. So this one's so cute, and the pictures are awesome. We also like What Comes in Twos, Threes, and Fours, which is like a math read out loud book. And it is very nostalgical because it was something probably written in the 80s. And I just absolutely love it because it talks about so many things that are within 2s, 3s, and 4s. And they talk about seasons and counting. And you can... This book can be used in so many different ways. So another book that we have been enjoying, which is Nursery Rhymes. And this is by Pridey Books. Big Ideas for Little People, and I love the way it looks like it's embroidered and stitched, and it has the classic nursery rhymes. And the reason why I really like this is because my daughter memorizes all of these stories and then she reads it out loud to her brother. It's a puffy book and it's a little thicker, so if you have little people, they're not going to rip the pages out. And I love the fact that they use like pictures for their stories. So this one is definitely a favorite of ours. And I want to get into some of the really cool read out louds that we have enjoyed from Bookshark. If you guys do not know, I have gotten resources from them for free from my honest review, and so I wanted to just share with you guys some of the ones that we like absolutely have been loving. So this is My Father's Dragon. This was the first book that we read from Bookshark because I was a little hesitant. I was like, oh man, is my daughter gonna sit down and want to listen to me read chapter books? So I tried it out before we started the school year, and this was the first one we read in the summer, and we kind of started ahead of time, and she loved it. It was very adventurous. It has a lot of black and white pictures, maybe every 5 to 6 pages, so she could kind of follow along, and it's a good way to introduce a chapter book. This one was a really good one to start with, and it was about 80 pages long. It wasn't that long at all, and we sat down and we read the whole entire book because she fell in love with the story, and she just said, keep on reading, keep on reading. So this one's good. It has 2 other books that go with the series, so I might look into that and maybe get them from the library. So this is definitely a good read out loud book to start with a kid that just has not been introduced to chapter books. This would be a good one to read with them. I also really enjoyed Boxcar Children. I think this was our next read that we did. It was very adventurous too, and it was kind of like sharing how they survived living as a family without parents, and how they were being so resourceful with the nature and the things that they had, and how the older brother just worked so hard and so dedicated to help out his kids or his siblings, you know, eat and survive. So this one was such a good book. We loved it. This is definitely a good book. This is a fun and humorous book by Beezus and Ramona. If you do not want to have your sons and daughters be introduced to a snotty and bratty little kid, then I would say don't read this, but it's life and they're gonna have to read books like this one day. It's not a Charlotte Mason inspired type of a book, but it's definitely a classic Beverly Clearly, and it's really funny. And after you read this, you could watch the movie that they actually have that came out not too long ago that really was good to watch. And then Little House in the Big Woods, we are reading this now. It's a classic, and I'm sure you guys have all heard about it, but we are starting off with this, and my daughter and my son really, really are enjoying it. And then this was a Richard Scarry book that they put in there for the read out louds, and I was wondering why they did it, because it's a small little book, but I understand why they did it. It talks about the manners and behaviors and saying please and thank you, and it was a good way to open up discussion about how to behave and what not to do for little kids or elementary kids. This was a really, really fun way to do it, and I read it not too long ago, and I was like, wow, this is genius. It's a great way to communicate with your kids openly about their behavior in a fun type of a way, and point out to the characters in there and ask them, is that a good thing that they're doing? It's a really clever book, and I absolutely love this. These are Bible books that I have gotten last year, and my mom got them for me at the thrift store. It's a series. I think I have more. It's called Allicin Bible, and these are stories that are done, narrated. These are stories that are just a great way to introduce the Bible to your younger kids in a really fun way. It's very poetic, and they rhyme. And that's one of the reasons why I like it, because it rhymes, and it's very, very nicely done. The illustrations are nostalgical as well, and some of their favorite Bible stories are in this series, and my kids absolutely love it. It's Allicin Bible, and she opens up this big screen and goes into the Bible land and experiences the Bible firsthand, and she's like watching them go through whatever they're going through in the stories of it, and it's really, really fun. Charlotte Mason Companion, I've talked about this before. I am still reading through it. I haven't finished it as of yet. I like it because you can go whatever chapter that you want to, whatever topic that you want to look or you want to read about for the month or the week. It's in here for you to read, and it's good for family, just the way the culture of your family is and how to teach your kids, as far as character and how to learn, and it's just very eye-opening to me as a new homeschooler. I was reading it last year, I think, the beginning of this year and a little bit of last year, and I'm still learning things from it, and it's just such a good resource to have. And it's a thick book, so it takes a while. So if you're a reader that reads fast, you can read through it quickly, but I kind of like to just take my time and read through it and like get as much out of it as I can. So this is definitely good. We do a little bit of Charlotte Mason in our home, and the more and more I read this, the more and more we do. So it's really, really fun. Teaching from Rest. I have heard so many good things about this, and then I read it myself, and the first chapter I could not get into. It took me like a long time to get into this book, and I was wondering why everyone liked it. Sarah Mackenzie is a great author, a great speaker, and I've watched lots of her YouTubes. And so I finally started reading this a little bit more and more and more, and then I got into the second section, and then I couldn't put it down, and I was highlighting things, and I got so many notes that I took in here to apply to my homeschool about teaching from Rest, and a lot of scripture and biblical truths in here. It's really, really, really a good concept. So check it out if you have not read it. Any new homeschoolers, that's a really good book. A Gracious Space. This is like a winter edition by Julie Bogart. And this is like a cool 50-day, it's just a 50-day daily reflections to help you with your homeschool commitment, it says. And I've been reading little days, like once in a while here and there, and it's like really encouraging. And she has homeschooled her kids for a long time. She has a lot of insight, and she has a program right now called Brave Writer, and it's just a really good book to just refresh your spirit or encourage you in your homeschooling daily commitments or activities. It's just, this also is a book that I would definitely recommend for a homeschooling mom. It's a simple decorating 50 ways to inspire home. I was introduced to this book by Rachel from Sweet and Simple Home. She used to homeschool her kids. Now they go to her husband's school. But she did a series on her channel, and I love her channel, and it talks about ways to inspire your home, to love your home that you're in, whether it's a small home, a big home, an imperfect home, whatever home you live in, just to truly love it and to make it your own. And this pulled out in me like things that I want to do in my new home to make it my style, and it's just very simple, affordable things to do, and I really, really, really enjoy this. And I feel like as a homeschool mom, your home is a reflection of you, and I know that you want to make it cozy and nice, and you want a good environment to teach your kids. And so this definitely applies to homeschool moms, and I think it'll be a great book for you guys to read. And then last but not least, the most important is my Homeschool Mom's Bible. I did a little video on this when I first started YouTube, but I love it because I open it up for the day that I want to read, and it gives me a little inspiration for something that maybe a homeschool mom wrote in here, and she had a hard day or a good day, and she reflected on it, and then they apply it to a scripture in the Bible. So when I don't have a lot of time, I read that, and then I'll write down the scripture in a journal. And it's a good way to get encouraged and to get your joy in the morning before you start homeschooling your kids. And it's a really good example too. I like to try to read and have my quiet time with my kids around while they're playing, to show them, you know, to lead by example, that mom does read the Bible. And I try not to use my cell phone for my Bible, and I try to use like the actual Bible so they could see me reading the Bible and be an example to them. So those are my 2017 best homeschool books that I have been enjoying with my kids. So I will see you guys in my next video. If you're not subscribed, I would love to have you join. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.